Have you been to Disney yet, Aurelia?
Yes. I had the runners there. Disney
The
hosts a
runners.
marathon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's just Tiffany and I's normal path through the park. We're called the runners.
Oh, okay.
Welcome to the Elite Few podcast, where we explore the fabulous, extraordinary world of the people who move the needle of success. Join our host Tiffany and producer Kyle as we dive into the stories and insights of the elite few who are making a difference and pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Let's get started.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Elite Few podcast, where we interview amazing people that are the Elite Few, which stands for fabulous and extraordinary, and the fact that they're making changes in our world. So today is a combination episode with a guest we had on early on in July when we first started setting up the podcast. We actually did an on-site visit with her and had her tell her story. She's actually back doing some stuff with Tiffany, and we got her on the show again. Tiffany, go ahead and say hi.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tiffany. It's really great to have you join us again. I'm so glad you guys are with us, and we're really lucky today to have Aurelija with us. She's my mobile IV girl, and she's a phenomenal woman. I'm going to tell you right now, she's saved me so many times after I had surgery. She'll come out after I have surgery, hook me up. And the reason this is so important is you heal better, not only when you're hydrated, but when you're getting all the right things.
Absolutely.
And depending on what I have done, she'll put different stuff in. But I do have a situation where, for whatever reason, I tend to get dehydrated easily. And I also don't absorb a lot of vitamins and nutrients and stuff and electrolytes. And I have a lot of issues with this. So if I get a regular IVs, I don't get sick anymore, like hardly ever. Unless I get cross-contaminated with gluten or something, I'm just not having the health issues I was having for 10 plus years. Right, Kyle?
Right. Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's one of those things where, like you said the other day, you went to some place and they said that IVs, well, you're not sick because that's what they normally start IVs on.
Yeah.
But this world is changing. We've got clinicians out there that that are not only practitioners that can practice themselves, they have medical direction, they have a protocol, and they can come out and they can do a little mixology, if you will, and put different things inside the IV and give you injections, and it's no different than being at a clinic. So they just now do it coming into your home. This started a few years back, probably maybe even 10 years ago. And I mean, Aurelia may be able to tell us more about that, but it probably became a lot more prevalent, after COVID when everything moved to mobile, if you will. So,
and what's interesting is, vitamin C drips can help with cancer. Aurelia, she had cancer, and this is what her story was to get into this. She got into this business to help people because she was going during COVID, Kyle, to the infusion centers. No mobile. There was no mobile coming to get her.
Back then, yeah.
She had to go to the hospital infusion centers and wait for hours to get an IV.
And be exposed to a lot of people that
waiting in COVID
in the waiting room. That's right. And having cancer, going to treatments. The only one way for me to get help, it would be probably at that time to get a mobile IV to come to my house and provide the IV therapy. But it wasn't available
at all
in Orlando
that wasn't
area.
That long ago then, right?
No.
Well, then we've had it in Ohio for a little bit longer because,
there's a lot. There's a lot of them in Ohio. Yeah. They just started popping up here. I mean, I know the one in Winter Garden is new, like right away new. And there's a few out there in Winter Park. And then over there in Lake Mary, we only got a couple. There's not a lot here. The market is nowhere near saturated in Orlando. Columbus, I wouldn't even say Columbus is saturated because
they're not saturated, but there's a few. There's a few of them.
There really is.
Real quick, because kind of a little bit of just to catch up on the listeners and the watchers right now is we have had Aurelia on our show before. That show has not been released yet. We're going to do a combined show with a little bit of this and a little bit of the first time that we recorded with Tiffany out in her living room. So actually, if you could, this will probably be on the front end of that. So if you could introduce Aurelia and have her tell her who she is and who she works for and what company she runs and all that good stuff, and then a little bit of her story, and we'll go from there.
Absolutely. Aurelia, why don't you tell me what is the name of your company? Because for me, I just have you listed as my IV lady.
Okay, interesting. That's basically true. The name of my company is The Wellness Drops, and we're based in Orlando, and I am the owner of the company, and I also work with my medical director, who is MD, and his name is Joshua Agosto.
Okay.
So we created this company in 2021. And,
wow.
That has been a couple of years now, yes.
And that was after you had cancer?
Absolutely, yes.
So tell us that story. You had cancer and you were not doing radiation.
No, I decided not to do the chemotherapy, which I was offered to. But so when I came back from the hospital, which was in 2021, December, of course, after 2 surgeries, I was very weak and dehydrated. I lost a lot of weight. And for me to get better, of course, it was to take a lot of vitamins. And as we all know, that taking vitamins orally, it would not be such a beneficial as to get IV infusion.
Mm-hmm.
So we tried to look for mobile IV companies to come to our house and provide with the infusions, but there was no one available. And actually, we even offered to pay double the price, and it was still waiting 2 weeks in advance. Wow. So I had to go to a local emergency room or to the small companies that they have IV drips, to get my IV. But as we all know, there's a lot of people around, and when you do have a cancer and you had 2 long surgeries, you shouldn't be exposed to so many people, even though you're wearing masks. And so this is how the idea to open a mobile IV company was born.
And you help people right now if they have cancer.
I do. I have a special program for my cancer patients. I only charge for the medications. So I do not charge for my work. I just go there and help them just because I was there in their shoes, and I am cancer free right now. So I recovered fully and can help others that going through the same.
So how many times would somebody need to get an IV every month if they have cancer and they're trying to not use radiation?
There is no such a thing that too many hydration. As we all know, the cancer people, when you get this awful disease, you have no appetite. It's very difficult to even drink water. So it can be even daily just to get hydrated. If you want to boost your immune system, I would say daily for a week, and then maybe, once a week from there. So definitely the energy levels and overall health improve.
Now, when you are doing this mobile IV, this can be used for so many things.
Absolutely.
I mean, even when somebody's sick, which I remember the one time you came in the bedroom, I was very sick. I couldn't even get out of bed, and you just hooked me up. Yeah.
Yes. When you have a virus, you have a cold, you have been dehydrated, or you recovering from disease, or you have been nauseated and vomiting or diarrhea,
or you're partying all weekend,
or you are hangover,
or you're pre-gaming, like Tiffany's getting ready to fly tomorrow, so no, today.
Well, I am, but I actually was doing this because I was starting to get stuffed up. I haven't done one in 3 weeks. It really is. That's not good for me. Really, what can I tell you? I can't do that, Kyle. I can't do that. I've flown into Columbus before and had to get one right away because my lymph nodes will just start swelling and it's so bad. And so as soon as you get a little of that, I really need to get an IV because I have different autoimmune disorders. They're under control and everything seems fine and normal. But if I don't keep up on the vitamins and the stuff that I need to keep fighting my immune system and keep it strong, I mean, I'll get sick pretty fast. Flying on an airplane will do it for me pretty quickly.
So Aurelia, I know, like, can you explain some of the stuff that you put into the IV bag as a cocktail, or,
okay.
Do you do antibiotics at all or no?
No. I do not do the medical treatments. It's just the vitamins. And today I received a call. No, actually yesterday we talked to Tiffany, and she mentioned that she is traveling. And she has a stuffy nose. And so today what we did, I put a pretty big dose of vitamin C. I did glutathione.
It's GLUATATHION.
TATHIONE. Glutathione.
It's surprising. There's a lot of us that are in the medical field that when we read a drug name, we'll just call it the short version of it because it's it's so hard to say some of these words. Yeah.
Just simply, it's a very powerful antioxidant.
Yeah.
Very powerful.
And it gives you energy and it helps your cell development, which is a really good one. But then she also gave me a Power Pack vitamin mix. Right?
Yes.
Immunoboost.
Yes. Including zinc and including selenium and zinc, selenium.
All great stuff.
All great stuff.
That's awesome.
It's all wonderful. Yeah. So, what she will do, basically, why don't you explain how they get a hold of you and that you set up your schedule because you're mobile. You go to them.
I do. Yes. We do have social media accounts, including my Instagram and Facebook. My website is www.thewellnessdrops.com. The all information there. You can call me, you can register yourself on my website. We will contact you right away when we see.
She does an amazing job of working people in. I think that's my favorite part about it. And when I first started doing IVs, I had met some people that were doing it. I was walking by a store, saw them, went inside. I'm like, what is all this? And they told me. And everybody in there was in their like 60s and 70s. So I thought, okay, I found out a little bit more about it, really looked into it. Well, the first couple of times I did it, it was literally because I had just been through so many surgeries. And I'm like, this has got to help. And there were several of the items on the like little list, the menu that you pick from that said they help with cell development after something happened, like a surgery or an accident, something if you had cancer or something, if you were recovering drug addict, it was all for cell development. So I dove into it and I swear to this day, I put biotin in it too. I put all sorts of stuff in it. I swear that my skin, everyone comments on my skin. For the last probably 6 months, every month, they're just like talking about how great my skin looks. I do a lot with my skin. I do take care of it. I do a lot of treatments to it. Like, I get regular facials every night and morning. I have tons of lotions for it. I do treat my skin a lot, but I really believe it has to do with the IVs that I've been getting and the vitamins because they go in your system immediately. Right away. When you take 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C every day, only 200 milligrams of that goes into your body. So, and my goodness, we can take thousands of milligrams of vitamin C.
Yeah. You cannot overdose on vitamin C.
No, and B complex in general. We all need that. But if you have autoimmune issues, there's always a deficiency at some point with vitamin B, and it's the number one thing that can help your cells get back to what they need. As a matter of fact, vitamin C is so important. What was it we were talking about the one day about how people actually can't heal, their cells can't heal without vitamin C?
Absolutely, yes. So vitamin C, it helps for new cells to grow and develop. And if you do have a cancer in your body, so the vitamin C, the big doses actually can, help to eliminate and shrink the tumors too. Wow.
So yeah, it's really interesting. There have been a lot of studies on it. And ironically enough, for some reason, Kyle, there were people in the 90s, in the turn of the century, who were doing studies on it, but somehow just died mysteriously. Out of nowhere. And then their journals didn't get published. But it is really starting to become a thing, and it's proving that it really does help a lot of things in cell development. And along with, really between THC and vitamin C, you can pretty much fight it off. It's for people. My aunt is allergic to both of those things. She's allergic to THC. She can't smoke weed, or she didn't really get to enjoy any real life in the 60s. But the also with vitamin C, she's allergic to that. She cannot take vitamin C, even in a tablet, in a pill, and anything. So here she is. She just had surgery for lung cancer and can't take anything that I know to give her that will save her life. And she's doing well. They found it early, so they really don't suspect it should be a future problem. But the nice thing is these things really do help if you can do it. And Aurelia will come to your house if you, like I said, sick or hungover or anything. And she's you'll work with people even if they have COVID, right?
Absolutely. Yes. Proper PPE. And I don't mind to help.
That's great. That's fantastic. I know that when I was in Florida and I met you in person, which was awesome. I met so many great people just that short period of time I was there. And one of the things I asked you, we could actually cut to here if we want to, but I asked you about, when it comes to the medical side of stuff and me being a paramedic, and have you ever been into someone's house? I think is what I asked, and said, hey, wait a second, time out. Let's not start an IV on you. You need a hospital, and you put it into. So I've actually got that from the other from the time that we were in person. So we're going to cut to that right here, and she'll share that story with you in the other setting, and you'll see Tiffany when getting an IV again. Remember, everybody, she's got an IV. If you zoom in, you can see that there's a drip hanging from right there behind the curtain that comes up right behind Tiffany and over into her arm. She can pull it over. So she's hooked up right now as we speak, getting her therapy.
And that day, it was a very vulnerable day because I was very sick, very swollen. My lymph nodes will get very big through here, and there's just not much we could do. And that day I was dragging, and we had so much work to get done. And I mean, dragging. And I called her, and it really kind of changed the whole day, right? God,
it sure did. It sure did.
Yeah.
But so just right now we're going to cut to that and let Aurelia tell her story about, a time where she actually, because she is a clinician, she's a nurse practitioner, everybody. So she's not just
she's just an RN. She not just. I mean, she is an RN.
I am.
No, I thought she's not a nurse practitioner.
No, she's an RN.
Oh, okay. I apologize. That was the nurse practitioner was the one from Ohio I spoke with.
Right.
That's right.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
But nurses and nurse practitioners can do this the same. I mean, she's a nurse. She knows how to start IVs. She knows how to check drugs.
She would be doing this. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So here's that's part of the story, and we'll be right back after we break to that.
When you get to someone's house and you realize that this IV is not going to do it, like they're way worse shape than you.
I actually, you know what? I can tell you the story. Not too long ago, right? I have a friend. She lives in Palm Coast. So she calls me and she tells that, my husband's a truck driver, right? He stopped with some kind of truck stop and he ate a chicken, and we think that he got food poisoning. So he's throwing up and he's not feeling good. He have a fever. Can you come and give him an IV? Because I think he's dehydrated. So the same day I go to Palm Coast. Actually, her husband is a professional basketball player. used to be, right? So 7'2", a big guy. He's laying in his bed. He looked at me are so sick. The legs were very swollen, and he couldn't breathe. So to me, already tells that it's probably not a food poisoning. I checked his blood pressure, and it was very high, and his heart rate was 130. So what tells me as a nurse that he's probably having heart failure. So that's why he's retaining the fluid, and I had to call 911. So we didn't even start with an IV because it's already fluid overload.
Yes.
Yeah, so we took him to Advent Hospital, Palm Coast.
Okay.
And the emergency doctor was very happy that we brought him there.
Yeah.
He was going into actually fluid overload, CHF. In addition to all, he had a pneumonia.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so that must have been like a lot to walk into, thinking you're just going to do a regular IV.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. And because, they blame some chicken dish that he ate at the truck stop. Actually, it was absolutely wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, he had some issues before. Atrial fibrillation, which we call AFib, and he was prescribed, Eliquis and some other blood pressure medications. But him being, a professional basketball player back in the day, he's in a good shape still, and he thought he doesn't need that medication, so he just gave up and didn't take it. So this is what happened. So we called 911. The paramedics came.
When it comes to patients that you see, because you're under physician's care, they do a full history of the patient before you even stick, right?
Actually, I do an assessment, okay. Yes. And as an RN, I can ask about, the first thing I would ask about, allergies. Do you have any comorbidities, any heart issues? I always look at the patient's feet because it tells me a lot. If there is a swelling going on, then there's something, probably some cardiac issues. If I do need to enhance my IV cocktail, I definitely gonna contact my director, my medical director, to say.
I want to talk about the vitamin C. So, all right. So you had mentioned that vitamin C dealing with cancer and COVID, and that amazing article that you sent us that we'll have posted on that site. Tell us a little bit more about that, please.
Where should I start? So vitamin C is one of the, let me put it nicely.
Yeah.
Okay, so it says critical patients need 2 to 3 grams of vitamin C. The chemo patients can go up to 50 grams a day.
Wow.
Yeah. And if the body gets overwhelmed with vitamin C, the body will
just get rid of that.
Just get rid of that.
Yeah.
So for the chemo patients, and we all know that the cancer is acidic.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So for us to try to alkalize our bodies, with the water, with the vitamin C, which is a big help too. Even the lemon water with honey. Early in the morning on an empty stomach will alkalize the body.
I do that. I do lemon water early in the morning. I've switched to alkaline and pH balanced water 90% of the time, unless I'm at a restaurant or something like that. I've done quite a bit of different things for my health that I think have worked tremendously. And the vitamin C, I know it's working because, you gave me 15 grams the other day, and I was just dead to the world. I was so sick. And we didn't know why. My lymph nodes were swollen. I mean, it wouldn't have been the same weekend. We wouldn't have gotten anything. I would have been in bed for a weekend. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Vitamin C is one of the most important vitamins for our body, for the immune system. And I would say the critical patients who survive probably has a bigger chance to survive if we inject 2 to 3 grams of vitamin C intravenously.
Okay.
About the cancer patients, we can go up to 15 grams by the researchers.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I want to thank you so much for always not only coming to my rescue, but being one of our elite few. Our show is all about fabulous, extraordinary world and people who are moving the needle to make a difference. And you are definitely one of those people. And I really am grateful for everything that you're doing here. Not just with me in the community, but for me, but with the community. $50 for cancer patients, that's amazing.
Absolutely.
That's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
All right, everybody. That was that footage from back in July when we launched the Elite Few podcast, and when Tiffany was called to the bullpen, if you want to do a baseball terminology. It's still baseball season, but to get her IV started. So it was a really great story, and I'm just glad that I've always been a little concerned when it comes to IV therapists. It was kind of what the general name is here in Ohio: IV nurses, therapists, what have you, home IV, mobile IV, all of the same thing. I've always been a little worried that okay, do they get that initial sick, not sick training where they don't just try to fix what's going on, that they realize they need the next level. And, her story explained that, tremendously.
So I really do like being able to call Aurelia whenever I want to, whenever she needs something. She's great with working with me. Even if I call her out of town, she does an amazing job on making sure she can get in here. And if she knows ahead of time I'm having surgery or I'm having something going on, she'll definitely work with me and schedule it, which I absolutely love and appreciate. And more importantly, that day I called her from bed, I was so sick, and we don't know what it was. I mean, anything hits me, who knows? She hung it right in the bedroom. I didn't move. She just walked over and hooked me up.
It was my pleasure to help you.
Yeah.
I'm glad to.
Yep. And
she felt better.
Come over after several of my surgeries, and I really think it makes a huge difference. So I'm always grateful. She's amazing. She's fun to have around, and we're overly thankful. Kyle, do you have any more questions?
I don't, not that I can think of right now. And just, I'm glad that you're finally, it's 3 weeks. Come on, Tiff. You used to, you had her, I think when I was there, you did it 2 days in a row.
Yeah. Well, I was bad. Remember, we thought I got cross-contaminated.
Yeah. We thought you got cross-contaminated. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure to this day, that's still what happened, because it just knocked me on my ass, and it will, it will make me very, very sick if that happens. That is good for me to go 3 weeks. It's been over 3 weeks, and that's not often I can do that. So I think that is progress, and just all the things I've been doing with trying to heal and trying to get through that. Yeah. Cause I've had to put in so much effort, and this was one of those things that I came across, and I found her through one of my aftercare nurses from one of my surgeries. She's the one who gave me her number. And that was amazing. If I hadn't done any of that stuff, I wouldn't have her. And it really did help change a whole progression of anything wrong with me. And my health has just continued to get better. And I still don't, I still don't see why it can't. The problem is that, when you're speaking to a doctor, their mindset is always, well, you're over 50.
You're on the downward
downward thing. They're just like, well, we're just really not sure we can do anything for you ever. And then
it's pretty much, you just hold on until you're 90 now. No.
Good luck. Hope it all works out. We're rooting for you. Yeah. So anyway,
we're big fans.
Anything else you want to add to tell us?
No, I just wanted to tell you guys that I'm very thankful for you to be here and to participate in one of your podcast, and I would love to have more clients, and please look it up. All
of her information will be down in our description, and we'll even maybe put it up on the screen, how to get a hold of her, and I'll make sure that I've got her emails now, so I'll make sure I get all that stuff and put it in there, so you guys can click on it if you're in that Orlando area, or if you're coming to Orlando. Here, let's start this one.
Yes.
If you're coming to Orlando and you're going to the Mouse's house and you're
doing drink a day at Disney, you might want to
Disney, or you're just at a hot Disney day and you've got 6 more to go. it's not unheard of that. I don't know if Aurelia has done it yet, but I know that I've heard of people on Facebook and some of our Disney groups that my wife and I belong to, that they will say that I had an IV therapist come and start an IV on me and my husband in our room at night after we got back from Magic Kingdom. And one of them was he got food poisoning and he was down and out, and they came in and gave him an IV and he was right as rain. Next morning he went to Epcot or whatever. Have you been to Disney yet, Aurelia?
Yes. I had the runners there. Disney hosts a marathon.
Yeah.
So
well, that's just Tiffany and I's normal path through the park. We're called the runners.
Okay.
No, we took our time the last time we were there. We really did. So, my wife is actually in Magic Kingdom right now. She said she just walked on to the Barnstormer. Yeah.
Oh my word!
It's her girls' weekend. It's her girls' trip, her annual girls' trip to Disney, and they landed early this morning. I got up at 3 this morning and took her to the airport. And she's been to Disney Springs all day, and now she just entered Magic Kingdom and is at the back of the park and enjoying their new annual pass that they both belong to. I'm not an annual pass holder yet, so. But yeah, maybe if they go drinking around the world in another day or two, maybe they'll be calling you up.
All right. You disappeared for a second.
So did you. So
okay.
Go ahead and close it out. So close it out.
All right. Thank you everybody for joining us. We're always excited to have you. I'm so glad for you to meet my friends and see what amazing opportunities and options are for you in life. And definitely when you come to Disney, either needing to pregame, postgame, or just, I don't know, you have nothing else going on, want to hydrate, get some vitamins, call her up. We'll have the information here for you. Thank you for joining us and stay fabulous.
Thank you.